let's move on. So once again, opening night of college football for the second year in a row, I'm watching Colorado football, right? And I'm back on the train. In the Colorado Buffs, they played a Division II school. Now, this ain't your average run-of-the-mill Division II school. I will say that. Yet and still, it's still
Division II.
A Division II school. NDSU, they're perennial winners in Division II. But Colorado did escape with the win yesterday, 31-26. The first question I have, we could talk about the game. We're gonna talk about the game in a minute, but is there a cause for concern struggling if you have aspirations of making playoffs or winning your conference? Is there any cause for concern after having a close game with a D2 program?
Yes.
No. Oh, yep. Well, we got our first two right there. Corey, you said yes first. I'm gonna let you go, and then Jay, you go ahead and do it.
No, Jay can go first. Go ahead.
First of all, they don't have aspirations of making the playoffs. Let's go ahead and get that up off the table.
Well, my argument's over.
Let's go ahead and kill that.
That was good. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Jay.
In college football is one of those things that the first 2 weeks, no matter, unless you're playing Cupcake Central, the first 2 weeks, your defense still trying to find themselves. So scoring is up usually, and then it tapers off as we get deeper into September, going into October, and by November, you know who the who's are. You know what I'm saying? You know who them ones are. So now that defense will get better. It won't be good, but it'll get better. In fact, they got, outside of one 23-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter, they held them to 0 for the whole second half. They gave up 20 in the first half. It got better as the game progressed. So
this is true.
Now, that's not the cause for concern. The cause for concern ought to be, can that offensive line hold up like that? And then two, if what are they going to do when referees start calling false start? Because I thought I was watching
God,
Taylor from
golly.
Them boys
looked like one of your boys out there, didn't it?
Yeah, early start every play.
Every play they got to jump on.
No, that doesn't happen in Kansas City. But I'm just saying I've seen it before.
That's that Lane Johnson start.
That's that Jawan Taylor start.
Yeah.
I will say this though, from what they looked like last year, the defense was giving up too much. You know what I mean? Their O-line was Olay. And in the run game, they had a running back the size of my son.
Both of
them was fast.
Two small ones. Pause.
Yeah. On top of not having the O-line to push people.
Well, that's
I think this season, I think that O-line will be better because they kind of revamped it.
Yeah,
I don't see much improvement on the D-line as far as getting to the quarterback. So I think that defense will still get exposed. The running back is a little bigger, but I still don't think they didn't do well last night or night before last with the run game. So I think the O-line is the only thing they got fixed, and they got even more receivers than they had last year. That's pretty good.
You said they kind of revamped it. They got 5 new starters on the O-line. They ain't kind of revamped it.
And one of them is the number 1 tackle in the country from last year. So
yeah, I got them winning. I got them winning 5 games, y'all. I got them only winning 5.
I'd say 6.
Hey man,
if
you look at that schedule, it's gonna be hard to find 5.
I don't know if it's 5. I think
I'm gonna pull up the schedule right now. Let me see.
They're gonna lose to every ranked team they got. They playing K-State. They playing Arizona.
Oklahoma State, Nebraska.
They playing Kansas and Oklahoma State.
Is Dylan Raiola starting for Nebraska?
Dylan Raiola is starting for Nebraska.
Okay, they might beat Nebraska. They this is his first game ever, and that's a big game.
He play tomorrow.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. He gonna have one under his belt before he get to Colorado.
Okay. All right. So
it might be Nebraska. Who they got out? Who they got out to Nebraska?
So Nebraska's next. Colorado State. Now we know what happened last when they had Colorado. We know what happened when they had Colorado State last year. So
yeah, it was a shootout.
They're gonna lose to Colorado State.
I think they might drop Colorado State again.
Now Hunter got some revenge. Remember they?
That was the one that took him out, huh?
They took him out. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they got Baylor.
But you can't underestimate when the beast that we. I mean, I don't even know what to call it, but like what we seen tonight with the Fever and the Sky. Mm-hmm. Like when revenge is not just the player, when the whole media is with one side, it seems to go that way somehow, right? And you know, Caitlin gets the best of Angel every time they meet, and I think with Coach Prime and how the media is against him, I just think Colorado and the way they're going to call that game is going to favor Colorado, man. For some reason, I just think that. So
it's in Colorado State, by the way.
They play in Colorado State.
It's in Colorado State, by the way.
That don't matter. that don't matter.
Still a home game for Coach Prime, but
that don't matter.
So after Colorado State, that's game 3, and then they got Baylor.
Hell, now Baylor not good no more.
Yeah,
they revamped a little bit. They got a new quarterback. He's actually pretty good. He was a quarterback for Temple last year. He's pretty good.
So they could literally be 1-3 or 4-0 after that Baylor game.
Man, that is crazy. That's a wild.
This is where it starts to get tricky. Right?
Okay.
Then they got UCF after that.
UCF is tough.
It's tough.
That's an automatic L.
Then they got Kansas State.
That's a L.
Who's ranked 18 right now.
Yeah, that's a good point on screen.
Then they got Arizona, who ranked 21. Then they got Cincinnati.
They can win that one.
They could win that one. Then they got Texas Tech. Texas Tech.
Oh, that's tough. You're gonna tortillas all over your head. You're gonna
but I can tell you what, Pat ain't coming out there to throw the ball, so
he not. You got a point.
He'll be at the game though. I guarantee that.
He will be there.
Then they have after Texas Tech. Then they have number 12 Utah.
Utah's tough.
Cam Rising.
Then they have.
He been in the doggone.
This is 7th year.
7th year. That dude like 30.
Playing court.
He is still the quarterback at the University of Utah.
Cam Rising is going to leave Utah and be a granddad. Like this man, I remember him coming out of high school, and it was so long ago.
Like 2012.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
I think he came out of high school the year before Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Him and Stetson was roommates in the junior college.
That's crazy.
That's Utah, number 12 Utah. Then they got number 22 Kansas in Kansas.
That's
they cold. They cold.
Then they end the season. They end the season at home against number 17 Oklahoma State.
You know what? I got to give them some credit because they definitely scheduled a tough schedule.
It's the Big 12.
It's the Big 12. So, you know, their schedule is tough.
I will give them this, though. They are blessed at the fact that Oklahoma and Texas are gone.
Yeah.
That would have been embarrassing.
That would have been.
It would have been. It would have been.
If you get better every week, though, if you get better every week, they may, like I said, they could be a 500 ball club. Yeah.
500.
So my whole thing about last night was, for all the adjustments that you made, you stayed in a man-to-man defense, right?
Which is crazy.
Which was crazy because you let the quarterback just run crazy.
He was too much of a threat from quarter one, and they didn't make that adjustment.
Never made an adjustment to it, right? These teams are only going to get better. This is a Division II school. Granted, yes, they are good in Division II football, right?
Was they running 2 quarterbacks?
Yes, they did run 2 quarterbacks, number 7 and number 9. And a couple of times they had both of them in the game at the same time.
Also kind of like some Taysom Hill type stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's how he kind of played it, right? Trey Lance's brother was a wide receiver.
Yep.
That was my biggest concern, is that your adjustments that you made is like, cool, you piled up the box and you stopped the run. Got you. Great job, right? Crossing route still killed you. Same shit that killed you last year. Exact same stuff. On 3rd down, you throw the ball to Travis Hunter, and they didn't have anybody that can stop him. But what happens when they do have somebody that can stop him? Jimmy Horn run down the field wide open, and you throwing the ball to Travis Hunter every play.
Force feeding.
You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to do it. Because if you don't force feed him and you get the ball to Jimmy Horn, right, Travis Hunter will be that much more wide open.
Yo, I will say this.
I want to talk about decision making too, because you had a chance to kill the game with like 1:45 left.
Right.
And you threw it on 1st down, incomplete, stop the clock. Now what? What would happen? The clock. What would happen had North NDSU gone down, and if they had maybe like a couple, because they actually did rob them of a few seconds on that last drive that they had. He caught that Hail Mary pass.
Oh, he definitely caught it.
He caught that Hail Mary pass. What's to say? Because they stopped the clock to move the chains.
Move the chains, especially that far. They would have had time to run up to the line.
Spike, you know what I'm saying? And for all those adjustments that you made against a D2 school, you only won by 5 points.
Yeah, that's the part that scares me. I think that Princeton, who the comments that's on the screen, his comment here, it says Colorado is looking to showcase Travis, Jimmy Horn, and Shedeur. It's not about the W's. If that's the case, they're doing a great job. I mean, Shedeur, numbers wise, looks great. Travis Hunter, we knew what Travis Hunter was when Travis Hunter was still in high school.
He is the showcase.
He is the show. Listen, that dude is different. And we're gonna talk about how many snaps he played here in a minute. All but 2 of the game. I don't know if that's a good. I mean, it's a good thing. It's like you a dog, but is that a good thing in college when you coming off an injury last year?
I don't think so, because you can only do that. They play him every snap because they need him every snap. Eventually, something is going to happen where you're not going to have him, and your quarterback is dialed into him. I mean, last night on the touchdown, I don't know how Travis Hunter caught that ball. That's a bad idea.
Yeah,
you threw it right. It's just a bad idea. It's a bad idea.
It was not a good decision by a quarterback.
But Travis Hunter turned it into a
highlight reel.
So I told my son that. I said, "Hey man, your quarterback is not going to be good a lot of the times, but it can make for a good highlight if you're able to catch the ball." And that was insane what he did.
Number 17 needed his scholarship taken because he was getting.
You know what?
I felt bad for him.
I felt bad.
You can do
like what he was mugging him. They could have threw a flag on that play, but they didn't, and he still caught the ball. Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do?
Nothing you can do.
Real quick, we under 10 minutes before the draft start. I want to go ahead and close this out.
Okay.
But I do got a question though.
Talk to us.
Is there any truth to the hype that Shedeur and Hunter would be top 5 both in the draft this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think. Yes. And I'm glad you said that, because I don't know if I sent the picture to you guys. There was a notification that came across earlier. But to answer your question, I think Travis Hunter can definitely go top 5. Because his portfolio is diverse. You can get him as a number 1 corner, or you can get him as a number 1 receiver. Whichever way he decides.
Is he a number 1 receiver in the league?
Yes,
he will be.
It's his hand. Listen,
he can definitely be a really good possession / slot receiver.
Possession, but that little body.
He ain't a possession receiver.
Listen. So Steve Smith wasn't a possession receiver neither. Got it.
Oh, Steve Smith was short. He wasn't
different type of receiver.
Listen. That dude, look, Travis Hunter, man. He ain't really got no fear. He'll go across the middle and get.
As I was gonna say, they got a similar mentality. Don't get me wrong. They have that, right? But he's a different type of receiver.
I put him in that same category with Garrett Wilson. Like, he's gonna have good hands.
Very similar.
He's gonna have good feet.
I don't think he's the route runner Garrett is yet. Of course, I mean, Garrett in the NFL.
The ceiling is high for him to become that.
The ceiling is high. That's why he's
if he can get a route tree, like he definitely. But I mean, I think he's already top. He'll be a top 5 pick if he goes cornerback for sure.
I think he'll be a top 5 pick no matter what. Y'all don't think Shedeur?
I think Shedeur.
Hold on. I'm gonna get to Shedeur, but that if we talking about the ceiling for Hunter, does he have a floor as low or lower than Crabtree?
No, his floor would be more like Deshaun Jackson,
a speed guy.
Just a flash. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't think he got no Crabtree on the top? Crabtree didn't have the speed, right?
No, Crabtree was slow. He was slow.
But he had the hands, and he was the best receiver in college.
Oh, he had some good hands now.
He had amazing. His hands was what got him to the league.
Yes.
Just glue.
I think to get to Shedeur, though, I think Shedeur falls to the 2nd round at best.
No, because there's no quarterbacks in this draft. Your best quarterback in the draft is probably Carson Beck.
And
That's it.
I think he, and as much as I love my Bulldogs, I think he's system favored. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he is a good quarterback, because he is. But based on Shadour's numbers last night, I mean,
he was clean. That pick was some crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah,
it was crazy. So the numbers were damn near perfect, honestly.
Yeah, he can read it. He can read
a team like that.
He can read a defense. He'll light anybody up. You know what I mean?
Light anybody up, and that's why I think that he's going to build, even with the roster that they have, and even if they go 500, like they said, I think he's going to build his name because them scouts was there. A lot of those passes, like I think the off-schedule stuff, the way he was able to stand in the pocket with that offensive line playing, El Matador defense. I mean, El Matador blocking. You know what I'm saying? Ole every time. Like he stood in the pocket and made some NFL throws last night, and I think that's going to improve his stock. So I think he's going to be top 5. I think they both have a chance to be top 5.
But don't get me wrong though. He do some boneheaded shit.
Oh,
absolutely. Like on the 2-minute drill, 30 seconds left in the half, and you scrambling around back there like you crazy.
Yeah,
like you have to give yourself more time than that.
Yes.
I mean, on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. You throw that ball if it's not there and you get pressure like that, throw it away instantly.